As the MV Hondius cruise ship approaches Tenerife, the people of the Spanish island await it with a mixture of uncertainty and, in some cases, anger. The Spanish government has agreed with the World Health Organization that the passengers of the vessel, which has seen an outbreak of the hantavirus, should be allowed to disembark there this weekend. It has travelled from Cape Verde, where 3 people were evacuated due to illness.
Hungary's new Prime Minister Péter Magyar is set to be sworn in, almost a month after he steered his Tisza party to a landslide victory, sweeping away 16 years of rule by Viktor Orban. Tisza holds 141 seats out of 199 in the new parliament, up from 0, a result of the party being founded just 2 years ago. Surrounded by rows of costumes, reggaeton superstar J Balvin fuels up in his dressing room as thousands of people in the coastal Colombian city of Barranquilla wait outside for his raucous 5-hour live performance to begin. The moment of calm belies what is turning out to be an unstoppable year for the Colombian, who FIFA announced on Friday as one of the stars headlining the World Cup's opening ceremony in Mexico City on June 11.
San Francisco real estate has never been very accessible. But the record sales happening right now, so in the city's high-end market, are testing the upper limits of what even this famously unaffordable city thought was possible. Consider a 6-bedroom, 5,700-square-foot home in Cow Hollow, one of San Francisco's most coveted neighborhoods. It was listed 2 weeks ago at $7.95 million, so not cheap. It just sold for $15 million. The sellers, who bought the property for $7.8 million in the summer of 2020, as the pandemic was pushing residents out of cities, nearly doubled their money in under 5 years.
As was widely reported, Oracle axed an estimated 20,000 to 30,000 people via email on March 31. One of the employees cut that day told TechCrunch about the experience. I had like this weird feeling in my stomach. I went to go sign into the VPN, and the VPN was like, this user doesn't exist anymore. Then I called my friend and I was like, hey, can you see me in Slack? And she said, no, your account's been deactivated.
Laura Fernandez has been sworn in as Costa Rica's new president and has vowed to fight rising crime in the Central American country, as well as maintain close ties with the United States. Fernandez defeated a crowded field in the February 1 vote to replace outgoing President Rodrigo Chaves, who has remained a close ally of US President Donald Trump.
And Amazon is adding a short-form video feed to the Prime Video app called Clips. The company announced on Friday rolling out first in the US. Clips will include, clips of shows on Prime Video that are designed to hook a viewer and get them to give the full show a try. From that clip, users can add a title to their watch list, share it with a friend, or navigate to rent, buy, or access the title through their subscription.
Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer and his Labour Party suffered significant losses in local elections. Despite his huge majority in Parliament, he's rejecting calls to resign, but faces new challenges from both the left and right. Bloomberg has a deep dive this week into how Intel CEO Lip Bhutan is trying to rescue one of Silicon Valley's most storied and stumbling chip makers. It's worth a read, but it actually undersells the most jaw-dropping part of the story. Intel stock has risen a stunning 490% over the past year, a bet by Wall Street that may be running well ahead of the company's actual turnaround. Tan, who took over in March of last year, has spent much of his first year schmoozing rather than restructuring, locking in a sweetheart deal with the US government, now Intel's third largest shareholder, cozying up to Elon Musk on a factory partnership and reportedly landing preliminary manufacturing agreements with both Apple and Tesla.
Southeast Asian leaders have agreed on measures aimed at reducing the impact of the Iran war on their economies, but conceded that the initiatives will take considerable time to come into effect. On Friday, leaders gathered in the Philippines for a summit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, with the closure of the Strait of Hormuz dominating the agenda. United States President Donald Trump says there will be a 3-day ceasefire in the war between Russia and Ukraine. Posting on Truth Social on Friday, the US leader said the truce would last from Saturday to Monday.
And 4 people have been convicted in the United States in connection with the 2021 assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse. Arcangel Pretel Ortiz, Antonio Intriago, Walter Ventimilla and James Soliges were found guilty on Friday of conspiring to kill or kidnap Moïse, whose assassination left a political vacuum in the Caribbean nation that has compounded overlapping security and humanitarian crises. And Libya's largest operational oil refinery at Zawiya has been shut down and an emergency declared following fighting between armed groups nearby. The National Oil Corporation, NOC, and Zawiya Refining Company announced a precautionary halt to operations and evacuated employees from the oil complex and
Porsche is closing 3 of its subsidiaries as it copes with falling sales and declining profits, the German automaker announced Friday. The automaker's battery subsidiary, Cellforce Group, is perhaps the highest profile casualty. The division had already been through a realignment in August after Porsche dropped plans to make its own batteries, turning Cellforce into a research and development arm. Now, Porsche says it's pursuing a technology-open powertrain strategy, corporate speak that indicates the automaker will rely more heavily on other companies for its batteries.
Cloudflare on Thursday joined a growing list of tech companies, including Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon, that have reported increased revenue alongside massive layoffs, attributing both trends to their use of AI. Cloudflare, which provides internet security and performance services to millions of websites worldwide, announced it was cutting its workforce by approximately 20%, which equates to 1,500 people, it said as part of its first quarter 2026 earnings report on Thursday.
Instagram users will no longer have fully private direct messages after Meta disabled end-to-end encryption for the platform's inbox on a global scale. The move marks a major reversal from Meta, which had previously promoted end-to-end encryption, E2EE, as the strongest form of messaging privacy, where only the sender and receiver can read the content.
And Banu, a powerful explosion following the reported crash of a quadcopter drone injured 8 people, including women, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Banu district on Friday night. Security agency immediately launched an investigation into the matter as panic spread in the area.
Security forces killed 5 terrorists in 2 separate engagements in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Tank and Dera Ismail Khan districts, said the Inter-Services Public Relations on Friday. In Tank district, an intelligence-based operation was conducted on the reported presence of quarry. The government raised the price of petrol by 14.92 per litre and that of high-speed diesel, HSD, by 15 on Friday. Following the increase, the price of petrol stands at 414.78 per litre and HSDs at 414.58.
A cyber attack hit several universities and schools in the US, Canada and Australia, causing chaos, confusion and major disruptions amid the high-stakes end-of-year season. The hacking group Shiny Hunters reportedly claimed responsibility for the attack, which caused the academic software canvas used by thousands of schools and universities to go offline this week. For years, Russia's Victory Day parade has symbolized the country's military strength and power, with a dazzling display of heavy military equipment and a stream of visiting dignitaries. This year, things will look very different. Russian President Vladimir Putin will host a scaled-back parade in Red Square with no military hardware on display due to the current operational situation, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. There will also be fewer foreign leaders than previous years, and now most international press will have to rely on footage coming from Russian state media to cover the event.
Israeli air raids have killed at least 20 people in southern Lebanon, including a civil defense rescuer, according to Lebanese state-run media, despite the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. A Lebanese health ministry statement said an Israeli airstrike killed 4 people, including 2 women, and injured 8 others in the town of Tura in Tyre district on Friday.
And who? Manchester City versus Brentford. What? English Premier League where Etihad Stadium in Manchester, United Kingdom when? Saturday, May 9 at 5:30 p.m, 16:30 GMT. How to follow? We'll have all the build-up on Al Jazeera Sport from 13:30 GMT in advance of our live text commentary stream. The Premier League title race took yet another turn on Monday when Manchester City were held to a dramatic 3-3 draw at Everton.
Serbia's men's Olympic water polo head coach resigned, and 11 members of its European gold medal-winning squad have boycotted the team over comments by the newly appointed federation chief. The sports body has confirmed the crisis comes after Serbia, among the world's leading water polo nations and gold medal winners at Paris 2024, failed to qualify for July's World Cup finals in Sydney.
And Poland's intelligence service said it detected attacks on 5 water treatment plants where hackers could have taken control of the industrial equipment inside, including, in the worst case, tampering with the safety of the water supply. And the story is relevant beyond Poland's borders. US water infrastructure has faced similar threats in recent years. In 2021, a hacker briefly gained access to a water treatment plant in Oldsmar and Florida and attempted to increase the level of sodium hydroxide, a caustic chemical, to dangerous levels. The FBI in the US and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, have since warned that water utilities remain a soft target for foreign hackers. And the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHCA, has opened an investigation into Avride, a robotaxi company that has partnered with Uber after identifying more than a dozen crashes and 1 minor injury. And the Safety Regulator's Office of Defectverkstellen, ODI, said all 16 crashes that it has identified have to do with the competence of Avride's self-driving system, which has apparently struggled with changing lanes and responding to other vehicles in the same lane and responding to stationary objects. And as families across the US prepare to celebrate Mother's Day this Sunday, Alison Stern is looking beyond the single day of appreciation. Stern just closed $10 million in commitments for her debut early-stage fund, Mother Ventures, which focuses exclusively on the mother as a consumer. And sustainability is rapidly becoming one of the most important priorities for industries across the world, and Master Group continues to lead with a long-term vision centered on responsible growth and environmental stewardship. And through its renewable energy vertical, Master Wind Energy, the group has achieved a major milestone by operating as a carbon-negative company, reinforcing its commitment to building a cleaner and more sustainable future for Pakistan. And Master Group's investment in renewable wind energy reflects a strategic approach toward reducing environmental impact while supporting the country's evolving energy landscape. By embracing clean energy solutions, and the group continues to contribute toward lowering dependence on conventional energy sources and encouraging a more sustainable industrial ecosystem.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party named a chief minister of West Bengal state on Friday, cementing its thumping win in key elections in the bastion long held by its adversary. Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, claimed a landmark 207 out of 294 seats in the Legislative Assembly in Monday's results, marking its first ever electoral victory in the largely Bengali-speaking state of more than 100 million.
And Real Madrid have fined Aurelien Tchouameni and Federico Valverde €500,000, 588,000 each after a training ground clash that left the latter needing hospital treatment. The club did not impose any sporting sanctions on the two players, saying in a statement that the fine thereby concludes the internal procedures launched against them.